till today, I teach my kids, you need to sell something. Never ask for a job from anybody. Sell something. One of my biggest limiting beliefs was that I was going to lose it all. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm in this property business. Every time I'm doing something, because I do not know how to make money, I do not know, come from a family that is money, I will lose it all. Money is the one most spiritual thing, because money calculates value. If you have money in this planet, people think you are valuable. They will give you the podium. They will say, but if you are broke, nobody wants to hear nothing. It doesn't matter how much wisdom you might have or this and that. So is money important? Maybe not. But this world has used money as a measure of value.
In a world where Africans have lost their roots, it has become of vital importance to document our ways. In an effort to reverse the brainwashing of the past, where we were made to believe our ways are demonic, we are pressed to create dignified and respectful platforms to unpack our spiritual ways. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs or position of this channel, its hosts, or affiliates. This podcast is a platform for open discussions and exploration of various perspectives, including controversial and unconventional ideas. We encourage viewers to think critically, do their own research, and form their own opinions. The content is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as fact, advice, or an endorsement of any specific viewpoint. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Moya O Light, Moya O Bright. Welcome to another episode of Moya Political Series, you guys. It's so nice to have you back. Thank you for everybody supporting the channel. We really see you, especially the members, members who are keeping the lights on, gold stars. Thank you. And if you notice in the comment section, I give you a lot of attention because I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, like, and share. Today's episode is special, guys, because we are dealing with the money wound. And if you are wounded financially, then you're wounded spiritually. And that's what we're going to be unpacking about how our self-worth relates to how our ability to create money. So I'm so excited to have Busi Selesho, who is and in fact, you're even international, an international money coach. I saw your episode. I think was it on the Lungelo podcast, ne?
Maybe, yeah. Probably, yeah.
It was so inspiring. First of all, on a personal note, this was the first time where I was like, oh my God, this person can help me, the things that you're coming from a debt of 400 million or whatever it was. We're going to get into it. But when something is so big and then you overcome it, you are the type of people where we're like, well, how did you overcome it? Please, can you help me? And that's exactly why you're here, because so many of us are in debt, trying to figure things out. And then your debt was even bigger than ours. So it would be so nice to, sorry to overwhelm you, but you really inspired me. And
and as I was saying earlier, thank you so much for inviting me. I, of course, found out years ago that I needed to talk and I needed to share. And what I went through was very painful, but it wasn't for myself. It was for somebody else to never, ever have to touch that pain. So now that I have been through that, I've seen the light, I need to share it. And thank you so much for doing this, because we are no longer even doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for the next generation. Our children come out with these wounds we have, they will leave them. But if we fight, we might not see the benefits of fighting, but they will see the benefits. They will reap the rewards.
So let's start from the beginning. Ngubani uBusi usukaphi, and so that, because audiences, we like to know and get familiar so that we can accept you and then we'll take your advice.
So of course, just like every other black girl in South Africa and Africa, I grew up in a very quite tricky situation. I lost my parent, my mother, at 6 years, and that was the trigger of everything else. So of course, when I lost her, my father also just, went on and continued with his life. Now, I'm from a family, I'm the last born of 5. Actually 6, the other one passed before I was there. But now the whole family was okay before I came in. The moment I came in, the whole my entire family went phew. There was divorce, there was all of these things, and when I came in, it felt like I was the only child. I do not know a setup of a mother and a father and that homely environment. Literally, I was just passed from one person to the next who could take care of me. So from my coming into the planet, I came in and I was just by myself. And later on, I got to understand that that was very important, because if I had listened to how the family grew up, if I was indoctrined with what the family was going through, I was never going to be able to stand up. So now who taught me? I had to go through the whole entire world. I've been to the Middle East. I've been to India. This is where every spiritual thing that I've learned. I've been from Peru in Brazil. That's where I learned how to give ayahuasca ceremonies and do all these things. So now the whole world had to take care of me. The whole entire planet. When I say, I mean, I've been to Mozambique. I have had people that I don't know from a bar soap teach me the most powerful things, and they will teach me and they leave me immediately. So attachment was one thing that I could not have. I needed to know that I wasn't here for anything other than to do this work. So I grew up literally by myself. I had to bring myself up in all ways that you can think of. So now when I'm in huge problems like being in 40 million rand debt, there was nobody to say, hey, by the way, what do you do when this happens?
How did you get into a 40 million rand debt?
Yeah. So
And how old were you at that time?
I was hardly out of my mother's womb. So, of course, at 6 years, my mother passes on, and the family is just in all sorts of mess. I mean, nobody actually sat me down and said, hey, by the way, your mother has died. It was never even to that. I don't know my mother's grave till today. I've never seen it. I've never been there. That's how much messy it was. But that's why how much I needed to not attach to any of this, of who I came from, because they couldn't carry this with me. I needed to find everybody else who could help me carry it. So of course at 6 years, I am finding out that I can sell something. So I became an entrepreneur literally in grade 1. I was selling peanuts and everything that those no problem. You remember those bags that were written no problem?
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to carry a big one. It was full of snacks, peanuts, everything that you can think of that I can sell, sweets and all of these things. And I will take it into class. Luckily, God is amazing. I was one of those kids that I would just listen to the teacher and I will be able to grasp everything. So I didn't have time to study or sit down and understand concept, but I will catch it very quickly when the teacher is doing this. In the meantime, I'm selling in the class while the teacher is busy. I am busy with business. And of course,
who got you, and how did you think of that? Who's the elder that was like, okay, let's help you stock?
Yeah. So in my lineage, my mother was a very strong entrepreneur. So when I was 3, I used to see her. She will never sleep. When we go to bed, she will start to knit. She was knitting curtains, bedding, and she will knit the whole entire night. In the morning, she will take me to town. So we'll go to the madams in town. We'll go from house to house selling bedding, and the madams will give her a lot of money. And then she will take that money, she will go buy me something nice. So I saw there that you can work so hard, sell, and then have so much money. But then, again, I didn't understand how this money was working. So even when I started my first business, I made so much money, but I will chow all of it. I will not be able to keep it. But that's where I saw it. At that 3 years old, I saw my mother do it. And I mean, her home was beautiful. Everything she had done the work. And I mean, I always say that is when I knew that the feminine energy can do everything and the masculine energy just shows up and be like, oh, this is beautiful. This is great. But that is the whole point. We are the basis of all good things. So, of course, I saw her. And when things went wrong for me at 6, I knew that I needed to sell something. If you're selling something, you're never going to go hungry. So till today, I teach my kids, you need to sell something. Never ask for a job from anybody. Sell something. And I've got a 25-year-old now. She has got the most amazing business. She hardly ever does any marketing work. But she's always selling. She hardly ever, she sleeps, she goes to the gym, she works. She has her own studio. She's a photographer. She told me when she finished matric that she doesn't want to go and study because she wanted to go and study law. She told me, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I almost had a heart attack because I was like, oh no.
It's so hard.
That thing is not for sissies. And of course, she saw me, but at that point, luckily, just luckily, I was able to close all the doors of losing money and not being valued and not being seen. She charges the highest rate. People pay without asking her questions. And she's hardly 25. She's still 24. She's going to turn 25 this year. She doesn't have it. But I had to heal it from me. And I've never sat her down and said to her, hey, this is how you do money. My daughter can borrow me money. On a Tuesdays, at the middle of the week, she's buying equipment for 50,000 rand. And I'm like, child, what's this? She's like, yeah, but I've been saving, I told you. She has rent for her studio. She upgrades every other thing. She's got the biggest lights. And I'm just like, wow. But I had to do all the healing for her to not go through it. And of course, I've given her the ayahuascas and this and then this just to make sure that she's not attracting my pain. She can deal with her own lifetime. But she's doing so well. So these are the things that we as parents have to do. We have to wake up and do the healing work so our kids do not have to go through the pain. Now, I'm going through the 40 million rand. Started at 6. Now I'm selling. But then, of course, I luckily my sisters were able to make sure that I go to tertiary. When I get to tertiary, I'm looking for the course that is going to pay me the most money. They say IT is the course. I do IT. Finish IT, going through tertiary. Literally, I could only afford to buy milk and mealie meal. I will do putu and milk and I will eat that for 30 days. Unfortunately, which is another thing that God does, is like, my friends had the sugar daddies and this. Nobody ever looked that direction towards me. Even today, I always say, men don't want sex from me for money. Like, why can't I? But it just doesn't happen. Because again, when you have that mark on your life, you think other things are so hard. Like, oh, can I just get a sugar daddy once? It can never happen to you. You're going to be the one who's providing money for other people all the damn time. And people are going to be asking you for money and you'll be like, but why? I don't have it. You have that mark, you need to sort of just get used to it. That's how it works. You have to honor that gift because it also gives you a lot of benefits. But if you don't understand it or you don't honor it, you're going to just think like everybody feels like they should take from you. Everybody feels like you don't deserve the chance. You threaten people. Whenever you walk into a boardroom, everybody's like, just don't give it to her. She's going to take over. That is the energy you carry. They see the light. Hence, also, the broken people will gather around you. You'll be like, why do I know? Everyone I know is a narcissist. Everybody, like, what is wrong? Is the world will know. You have the light. These people are asking for help from you. They are not just in your life because they want to take. They are asking you for help. But if you're sleeping with your clients, then you're going to be in trouble. So that's when I had to learn, become a coach, become somebody that can actually help people so that they don't take from me by force. That's why you find that spiritually gifted people, they will be raped in a young age. People are trying to take from you by force. But if you have healed enough and your parents are doing the healing work, nobody is going to come and force the healing out of you. They will respect it. They will come to you and say, can I have a session? Can I pay for it? Can I give before I talk to you? You are not that person. You wouldn't find married men who are just looking for a good time to play with you because you have honored who you are. Then now you have this protection. But then you have to use it correctly to gain more for yourself and your family, of course. But also make sure that you can never do work that doesn't help other people, because the money won't come. So yeah, then of course I'm going through that whole process. I study and then I finish IT. I get an amazing job. At the time, I remember companies would give 2,000 rand. The most they are paying is 2,000 rand for an intern. I got my first intern job, 8,000 rand salary. At that time, I remember I had asked for the most paying career. Oh wow, I was like, okay, now I'm rich. This is it. I mean, everybody's getting 1,500. I'm getting 8. So this is it. So of course, because nobody had taught me anything about money, I got all the credit cards in the world. I couldn't qualify for anything. I qualified for black card before anybody knew the black card was there. Because of the jobs that I was getting, they were paying very well. But also, I had all these debts now. Remember now, the wound is working in my life. I have to be in debt so that it can trigger something. So of course, 2-3 years later, I'm changing jobs. I hate, by the way, this IT thing, because at that time, you will have an IT department under a basement in the company. You go there, nobody sees you. Me, I want to talk to people. I want to, be out here and helping people. IT is saying you talk to your computer, that's it. So, of course, I got depressed. Now, my mother passed of depression. My 2 brothers passed of depression. Depression kills, we know. But then, no one knew that depression was serious, can kill you, literally. I saw myself going that route, and I knew that I was going to die. So now, I leave the job. I resign. I just got married. Now I'm resigning. See how that looks wrong. Like, what is this? So I don't have anything, and I always say to people, your calling can call you, but just make sure that you sort out your stuff. Like, not all of us can be able to bulldoze life and like that, because yeah, you have to sort of put logic to it. So of course I just leave it like it is, because I'm seeing that I'm gonna die from here. I used to take 1 day every week off, sick leave, on a Tuesday or on a Thursday, where I don't have to bring a doctor's letter. That's how much the environment was so heavy for me. And I've seen people die in corporate jobs that they're not supposed to be in, because you're really not supposed to be there. And if you sit and sit, you will die. You will come back another lifetime to do it. You will die, I promise you. God does not have a problem with time. He will bring you here many, many times. So if you do not take care of it, you are gonna, go out of this before you've done what you need to do. So of course, I start, so this time, I got married very young. I was hardly 22. Let's not even go there today. No, but then, of course, I have seen a lot of life. Remember, at 6, I was already taking care of myself. And how that even happened was, at 3 a.m., I would wake up every day without anybody waking me up. And I was staying with my mom, Kulu, at that time. There was a tuck shop next door. So there's this truck, bread truck, the bread truck will come and deliver the bread at 3 a.m. I will wake up and then I will hear the truck delivering the bread. And then I thought, so by the time I was thinking, let me do this whole thing of selling at school, I will go to the tuck shop and buy the biscuits and then sell them at school. But then when I hear the bread truck at 3, then I thought, what if I buy from the truck? I might make more money. So I tell my mom, I want to go and talk to the bread truck people. She's like, what are you doing at 3 a.m.? Why would you be talking to people when you are 6 years old? You cannot be waking up at 3 a.m. and going to talk to the bread people. So that wasn't going to work. So then on the weekend, I will try and sneak out while they think I'm at play. I will go about 5 kilometers distance to where the bread was made, to the big shop there. And I'll come back with the biscuits now. I'll get them in big packets, and then I'll be able to make more money. And then she finally saw that, she is crazy like that. And then she will help me to go and talk to the people at 3 a.m. So now, every once a week, they will give me bags of biscuits, and I'll sell at school. So even that whole thing of waking up at 3 a.m., it's still part of my life. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I start work at 4. My first client every day is at 4 a.m. because, yeah, life is tricky. But then my whole entire schooling life, I was selling something. If I wasn't selling spinach after work, my sister would go get clothes. I was going house to house, selling all sorts of things. My whole entire teenagehood, I hardly ever go to play. I was selling something. So, of course, by the time I was finishing tertiary, the only thing that could make sense in my mind, if I wasn't doing this job that I hate, was to sell something. So then I said, no, I'm going to go and start a business. Now, I didn't know what business. Luckily, for some weird reason, I meet this white guy who was doing properties. He says to me, he can teach me how to be in property business. He shows me how to flip houses. Buy a house, put paint, put some grass outside, sell it back at a high value. I will make an easy 500K. Hardly I would have touched. At that time, that was a lot of money. And I was like, wow, this thing is working. Some weird old white man taught me that without charging me anything. So that was my business. So I always say, when God has put a blessing in your life, He will make sure it comes to pass. So I'm doing this business. I'm making so much money. I don't know what to do with it. I'm hardly 23 at that time. I just left my job and this is working. Of course, my family is like, no, you lost your mother. You don't have anybody. You can't leave your job. How are you? Nobody in this family knows business. And it was true. No, I could not identify with anybody in my close proximity that could help me with this. So I am doing this. It's working. And then all of a sudden, it was 2008, the world recession. I lost everything. Because remember, I had bought so much stock and then everything just went boom. And then I was left with nothing. So I realized that, oh, it's done. It's no longer there. I'm thinking, do I get a job? But then I owe the bank money now. I'm thinking, there's no job that's going to help me pay out this. It will take me a whole entire lifetime. Let me start another business. So I'm thinking, I have an IT background. I am good at this thing. Let me start an IT business. Sunnyside, Pretoria, I get this big hall, put in almost 100 computers. I'm back in business. Nigerians are booking a computer for 30 days and paying me cash. Yeah, like no questions asked. Now I'm mama what? Sunnyside. All the
Yes.
Nigerian guys are calling me mama something. Now I'm hardly 25. Now I'm already in that authority figure for these people that are so older than me, but they all are saying, you are the only one who allows us to do this. Because the internet cafe will be like, no, you pay for 1 hour. Me, I'm like, no, let's sign contracts. Give me the man. So I was the first person who gave them that kind of a service. And it was working. I was making so much good money. That's going well. I've just, remember now I'm paying the bank. So the bank is thinking, oh, this one is doing very well. They don't know that things have gone pear-shaped and now I'm making sure that things work again. Soon, one Tuesday morning, I go into the internet cafe. I find everything is stolen. Each and everything, the photocopy machine, it's clean.
Abu Mama, what?
So now I'm thinking, what? What just happened here? Things were going very well. All of a sudden, there's nothing. Another hurdle. I had to think quickly. Again, do I get a job or do I make another plan? I'm owing the bank a little bit more now. So at some point at the time, something happens. I found out about wheat bank, mines, and coal. I'm like, yes, I'm in this. I go back to the bank. I know how to ask money from the bank. Never says no to me when I ask for money. Even now, I help so many entrepreneurs. I coach them, get money on the bank. If I'm asking for money, I'm never getting a no. It doesn't work like that for me. So, go back to the bank and I say to them, I need more money. They're like, yeah, no, fine, we can give you. They give me money. I'm buying Mercedes trucks for the mining. I'm back in business. That goes, that again dies. 6 businesses later, I keep on making it and then boom, everything. Just like I will wake up in the morning and then it's no longer there. So now, remember that the money gets more and more. I keep
Yes.
owing the bank more and more.
Yes.
At some point, the bank says, no, 40 million, you cannot do this. Sequestration. Lost everything, left with the clothes I'm wearing.
Please explain what sequestration is to us.
So sequestration is when you are over indebted. You're not just in debt, it's way above what you can handle. And what happens is that those financial institutions, they will then go into a process where they go and claim the money that they've lost from you. Mm-hmm. And then you, as an individual, then you are put on sequestration. Sequestration is a punishment. It's like you go to jail. Mm-hmm. It's 16 years period, depending on how quickly you get rehabilitated back into the system. But what happens is just the High Court deletes your ID number. You cannot buy anything with credit in that period. So what happens is that
Can you open accounts?
no,
like
not
bank
even
accounts,
a cell
nothing.
phone. Not even a cell phone. You can't even run a business for a certain period while you're under sequestration. If you have education, you cannot be hired. So, everyone says like, you must have a degree at least, you'll fall on that. No, you can't. You are blacklisted totally. You are out of the system. So now I get to experience that. So it's a judgment. The High Court says that, and then the High Court will send information to all your creditors. So they will take everything you have and they will auction it, and then they will take 1%, 2%, everybody that you owe, they will share what you had. So I had the house, the cars, everything was just, people will come and fetch what they need. So while I'm going through that, one time a guy comes to fetch my most amazing Mercedes-Benz. He comes with a lady. So when they come to repossess, then you'll sign a few papers, what. So the lady says to me, I'm a coach. You can come in for a free session so that I can talk to you about this. So I'm thinking, wow, okay, now I've never heard of a coach, but she says it's free. I need anything free right now. I go to this lady, I tell her my 40 million rent story. She just looks at me, and white old lady, I can't even find her now. she says to me, after I've told her all this, she says, Busi, you don't have a problem with money. You have a problem with the relationship you have with money. I'm like, white woman, what? A relationship? I now have to have a relationship with money. What is this? She says to me, I'm asking you the next 3 months, do not go and start another business. I'm going to give you a set of things that you're going to do with your mindset. It's going to change how you look at money. That is how you're going to come out of this. I'm like, okay, now life coaches are weird. This is not what I imagined. I thought we were going to discuss how I'm going to change my income statement and where am I going to get all of this money out. She's like, relax. Okay, so that didn't make sense. I got back home. She literally wrote some few things on a piece of paper, gave it to me, said goodbye. Don't even have to call me again. I go and I'm so discouraged. I go home, put the paper away, don't even look at it. Well, probably 2-3 weeks down the line, I do not have anything to do with my life. Every door is closed now. I went for a CSIR for an amazing interview. They were going to be paying me 50,000 rand at that time. That's a lot of money. The HR lady called me the next day. She said, we just ran your credit. My goodness, what is this? What did you do? You are so young. What happened? At that time, I'm hardly like 27, 28, around that age. And I've got this 40 million rent debt that everybody's just like, oh, no, who does that? People your age are not doing this. Oh, well, I then go back to that paper that I got from this session. This paper had simple, very simple mind exercises that I started to do. So this lady had said to me, 3 months, don't start anything. I start doing these money mindset things. Hey, my energy changes. My thoughts come back. But one of the things there was that I needed to tap into my God-given skill and talent. Now, I didn't know that I was good at selling, like I'm a salesperson. type thing. But I've been always selling, but I just thought that was just a way of living. I didn't know that it's actually like a skill. You can like make a lot of money from that. While I'm doing this mind exercises, I found out that, it came in dreams, it came in so many ways while I was doing the work that this woman gave me. And then literally a week later, I was back in business. She had said, give me 3 months. Oh, a week was enough. So I go and now I'm excited. I've just found out that I'm a salesperson. This is good. I go to a company. I know no one is going to give me a job. So I say to them, they were a training company. They were training with international companies. I said to them, allow me to sell your programs. If I sell, then you just give me a thank you. You don't have to hire me. I've got enough problems. The management lady, she laughed. She says, nobody has ever come to me and asked me to work for free. So you want to work for free? I'm like, well, it's not really for free, but since you can't hire me, let me just work with you. Lady was shocked. 2 weeks down the line, I was getting the biggest contracts in her company. I was getting more commission than her salary as a manager. Everybody was shocked. Now I was working on this thing that the woman showed. I was like, oh yes, I am a salesperson. Everywhere I come in, people listen, and I know how to do this. I know how to sell. I'm selling, now I'm back. At that time, I went and bought myself this big old Mercedes, these old ones. So now at church, I was that person who stands up and gives the most money. I collect the offering. The pastor loves me like nobody's business, right? When I'm not at church, he calls, Busi, where are you? So,
Where's your money?
Yes. Oh, are you here to take the offering? Because, of course, when I'm asking for the offering, everybody gives. So, when things went down, of course, nobody likes when you're down. So, the church also was like, hey. So now I come back, I'm so proud of myself. I bought myself this big, huge, amazing old Mercedes. The pastor said, oh my goodness, Busi, you've went and bought yourself. My father was once rich. I didn't know that car had a name. So, my father was once rich. I was so hurt that they couldn't, see that I'm coming back. They wanted the Busi that could bring on the... So, of course, I got my church wound there. And it was a very tricky one. Because, I thought this doesn't happen. All of a sudden, I found out that...
Our men of God.
I found out that church people actually just don't care. So, but anyway, I changed churches at that time, I remember. Because I was just like, you guys don't love me. But yeah, of course, we have to learn these things in these kind of ways that you can't attach again. I was taught the same thing. You can't attach to anything. You must keep moving. Okay, so, excuse me. Now I am in this new building myself up. I've just found out I've got sales knowledge. I can sell. I can start afresh. This company, I'm now making an income. Oh, by the way, they couldn't hire me, but then they made a plan. All of a sudden I was hired. All of a sudden I was an employee there. I don't know how they did it, but then how? So I'm now a salesperson. I have to drive around and sell. I walked into another company in Silverton in Pretoria, and there was a man that had a crocodile skin texture. He looked so bad. I asked what is wrong. They say he's got skin cancer. They work here in this manufacturing plant, but they were not wearing PPE. They were not taking care of the health and safety. So he got all these chemicals, and then they started to, cramp his skin. He looked like he was going to die any day. But he was still at work because, you can't afford to stay at home. And then I asked, but there isn't a law around this or something? They said, no, there is. And then I was like, okay, really now? Went home, Googled, find out that I didn't know about this. There's a whole entire Health and Safety Act, and companies are supposed to comply with this and all of sort of things. 2 weeks later, I started a business in health and safety. I know nothing from nothing. Zero. There I was, started a health and safety business. My first deal was in a mine in Rustenburg. I walked in, I was so tiny, I was so small. I remember I was wearing a black suit. And there were a whole lot of white men, and one of them, he said it in Afrikaans, like, what? You called us for this? What are we here in this boardroom to do? Oh, wait until I finish my presentation. Everybody was like, oh yeah, sell us this program, sell us, we can buy you off. I was like, no, you're not buying me off. We're going to do this together. Got my first break, started being in business, went and quitted my job. Now I was back in business. Again, everybody was like, oh, can you just keep a job? You didn't want to do this to yourself. So again, I'm in that company till today, it's them. And I then learned that I needed to do work that was connecting with helping people other than just doing money for the sake of money. And that was the first business that didn't die. But at that moment when that woman gave me those mindset exercises, one of the things also that I found out was that I had limiting beliefs. One of my biggest limiting beliefs was that I was going to lose it all. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm in this property business. Every time I'm doing something, because I do not know how to make money, I do not know, come from a family that is money, I will lose it all. So that was an underlying belief that I didn't know I had, a limiting belief. So I will make money and then I will lose it all. And it has been happening until that moment. So then I had to collapse this limiting belief. When I collapsed it, till today I've never lost anything in business. It's been so long. Since I was 30, now I'm 40, what. I have never lost anything after I've collapsed that. So that woman really changed my life. So that's why I always say, find a coach, somebody who's going to look at your problem from a neutral position and see what is wrong with you. Collapse that, I will lose it all. Collapse the fact that money was something that I can make and then I do not know what to do with it. I do not know how to build anything. So, of course, I come back into business. I'm doing this business now. Things are coming together. And then all of a sudden, I'm winning awards. Best entrepreneur, this and this and this. And that's when people started to say to me, tell us the secret. Why? How are you able to bounce back from such things? Now, remember, I'm sequestrated, so I cannot buy anything cash. So I started to learn how to buy a house cash, how to buy things cash. Even that sequestration was a blessing in my life because it taught me how to not live off debt. So now I'm learning how to do these things, and things now are showing up because I'm in my calling. I'm helping people. Safety was about helping people. So immediately I start to connect the dots. Oh, when I'm in my calling, when things are like this, things do work out. Then I start to say, okay, I'm going to share this information that I found out. So when I tell people, oh, it's, the law of attraction and this, and they're like, Busi, no, tell us who you know. So at that moment, that's when I started to do workshops. Then I met somebody, a guy from the UK. He said to me, you can train to be a life coach and you can actually do this in a formal situation because people are asking you every day, how are you making the money? How is your business growing so quickly? But when you try to explain it to them, they don't understand it. There's a process that you have to take a person through that they see their own limiting beliefs, but you need to be trained for that. You need to become a life coach. I trained with a school in New York while I was here in South Africa, so I'll wake up in the weird hours of the day and attend the classes. 2 years later, I was accredited as an international accredited money coach from there. Then even this money coach thing wasn't there, so I told them I want to be a money coach. They were like, no, you can be financial. I was like, no, you don't understand where I come from. It needs to be money. It cannot be financial anything. It won't make sense. The people that I'm going to be talking to, they need to hear the word money.
Yes.
So, of course, they allowed me to write a whole entire whatever that accreditation I had to do for them to approve me as money because I needed the money there. And then I started to coach people. I started to show people what I knew. And then I wrote the book. In the book, the last part is a 30-day money mindset program. So it is literally what that woman gave me. I had to document it because I was going to forget it. I wrote it down. I used to wake up at 3 a.m., literally half asleep, and I would write as like I'm channeling. So the whole entire book is a channeled information. People open the book and tell me about stuff that I don't know what is there. But I wrote it down, all the 30-day money mindset. It is so intense. You will cry your lungs out. You will roll on the floor. But you have to stick to it. Do it for 30 days. You have everybody that has done it come back and say to me, wow, everything changed. Because everything changed for me. Somebody I don't know from, but that lady, I can't find her even today, gave me something that I cannot be able to understand myself. I had to write it down in that book. So that's the only reason I wrote the book, was to share what saved me from drama. So the other part is just me talking about stuff that is probably not important, my life. The 30-day is everything that I can give to the world. That's what saved me. So now I'm a coach, of course, then, up to now, today, I'm helping people all over the world. I've got clients from the UK, from the US, from Austria. So when I wrote the book, at that time, of course, the title of the book has gotten me into so much trouble. Money and Black people. Why Black people don't have money. First time when I launched it, I was on Power FM every Wednesday. Oh, the Power FM listeners used to tear me apart. Just for the fact that I said money and Black people, why Black people don't have money, how to heal your money story. And then until
is it because, sorry to just jump into you, what would that reaction be stemming from?
Of course, it's a big wound. When I say why Black people don't have money, who are you to say that?
We don't have money. And now you're talking to the rich Blacks. We were like, we do have money.
So one time I got invited into this one of the biggest insurance companies. The CEO, I don't know how he's white. He got some information that I must come and speak to them. He called the whole entire organization. He paid me to come and speak. The Black people never came. Indians and whites, they were filling up that hall. They gave me a standing ovation at the end. And I was talking about why Black people don't have money. And I was like, oh my goodness, they are all white. The Black people did not show up because they were so triggered. And I was like, God, why would you do this to me? So, but the thing is this, when I say Black people, I'm not even talking about the skin color. I'm talking about a mindset.
Yes, poverty.
So white people read the book and be like, oh my God, we get it. They stood up and clapped because I wasn't talking to the black skin color. Now, why this title, I don't know. Also, it came at 3 a.m. Now I was shocked. And I wasn't happy with it myself.
I love it.
So, now, all of the stuff, well, the 30-day mindset program is for everybody, of course. It doesn't matter what color skin you are. But when the book came out, Black people were so triggered by the title. It took a lot for me to convince them to buy. So, first thing when I was launching the book, the first day I was on the morning show in SABC2. The Saturday
Weekend Live.
Yeah, Weekend Live. That was the launch of the day, the launch of the book. I was there, and at that time, Bonang was launching had just launched her book. Bonang's book came with all sorts of drama. She doesn't know English, this and this. Me and this book, there's no English in here. Zero English. Now, when I tell you how my first editor sent me a 2-page email telling me how much rubbish I've done. I cried for a whole entire day. He told me, no one will ever read this thing. Just forget it. Don't even...
in English.
In English, yes. And then the second editor, she said, you know what, this is spoken language.
Okay.
It sounds like you're talking here. This is not how you write a book. This is not a book. You're not an author. you just wrote what you would have said. So she said, I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just going to correct spellings and you're going to send out your book. Let's see what happens. So, well, I mean, I had gotten that feedback. It was just enough to demoralize me. So I thought, well, what can I do? I started a YouTube channel and I did about 70 episodes, explaining each chapter in 70 episodes on my YouTube channel.
What?
In 70 days. I'm that crazy, right? So I mean, literally, I still get all the time people commenting on those 60
Yes.
episodes, and I will do it every day I woke up. So because of that, at the time, South Africa didn't have enough bandwidth. So this YouTube channel was in the UK, in Brazil, all over the parts of the world. People started ordering books from everywhere. They would order in Spanish. Me and my peer wouldn't know what they are writing.
Is there Konapa?
Yes.
Okay, so we can access it. Okay, I'm going to put
All
it in
of
the
it.
description box.
It's in the YouTube channel. So the book was bought everywhere in the world, not South Africans. That is how I got to go to Brazil. They will call me for that's how I got to go to the whole entire planet, going around and going to all sorts of retreats because of that YouTube channel and this book that I really was sure nobody in South Africa is gonna, I just made a mess of my life. So literally like 2 years later, that's when people started to buy it. Well, after, the Power Fam, and then I had a lot of immediate people interested. And then that's when South Africans started to buy it. But there is more, my clients are more international than South Africans because of that. But again, all of these things, they just seem like, to just happen almost automatically. But it is because if it needs to happen, it will happen. It has to happen. So yeah, that's basically my life.
Incredible.
And I've been through all sorts of other things that have shaped me to really honor what God gave me. And I always say the feminine energy is the most powerful energy. I mean, when you read the Bible says God created the world in 6 days. And God used a word. Word is a feminine energy. So if we ever want to give God a gender, it must be a woman. Because you cannot do anything like that. God did not bring bulldozers. He said, let there be. Let there be. That is feminine energy. So feminine energy is the creation energy. And if you have the feminine energy in you, you can do whatever under the sun. You can be respected. You can create whatever you need. Right now, we see a lot of women go through struggle. Most of us is because we do not know the feminine energy and we show up with masculine. But then our masculine is mostly toxic to ourselves and the people around us. Now, if you're having a toxic masculine, how do you know? You suffer for money. You will work hard. You will work very, very, very hard if you are in your toxic masculine. Nobody's going to give you anything for free. Nobody. Actually, they will take from you.
Unpack this some more. Unpack, because you're shocking us when you're talking about masculine and feminine energy in relation to money. Like, what's that about now?
So, when we are in our mother's womb, we are under the feminine energy. So, our fathers just have to put a seed and they are out of the story immediately. That is why even now I always say to women, if you've got a child and that child is not, that's your own. Do not ever go and traumatize anybody and say, oh, come, this is our, no, it's your own. God give women children. That's it. So and God always will give you milk, will give you whatever that you need, literally from just knowing to take care of those children. So now, once you need, when you are in your most vulnerable period in your life, which is you are in your mother's womb, you are 3 years, you are 5 years, you need the feminine energy to protect you. The feminine energy is the most protective energy for anything that is growing to be cared for. Now, men, when you are above from 33 to, and your cutoff date is 35, if you are more than 35 and you don't have a wife, you are outside feminine protection. That's why states have shown single men are the most broke. Specifically if you are above 35, because you no longer have that feminine energy that's protecting you from your mother. Once you're 35, everybody is on their own. Before 35, you have a certain level of, I can talk to my sister, I can talk to my mother, I can talk to my grandmother to be my protection. When you're 35, you need a wife. That's basically, like, if you don't have one, you are in trouble. That is why we see married men are the richest, because
Yes. Yes.
they use the feminine energy. Is the only thing you can create. You can have so much that you have in your skills and set, but if you don't have feminine energy, you're not going to be able to create anything. But women throughout does not need anybody else, because we have the feminine energy. That's why we can hold homes, single-headed homes with women. You don't even see, like, everything is golden. Nobody knows there's no man in this house. Feminine energy. But if you are a woman that does not understand the feminine energy, you will suffer a lot. But feminine energy brings you free money. And I'm always teaching women. I've got a whole entire class of high-value women. I teach women how you download free money. Now, if you see a slave queen that goes and put on her makeup and sit, and somebody pays 100,000 for that, she's using her feminine energy. She might be using way too much, because now she doesn't know how to actually make the money, in a more like helpful way. I mean, it's not, she's helping, she's there, she's putting the feminine energy. There's no man, they will tell you, man, that if you go into a big deal, and you say you're singing, nobody's going to trust you. You actually need to bring your family to a family meeting. We need to see your wife. We need to see that you are stable, because we're not giving you a 50 million rent deal without. So if you bring an amazing slave queen, then we actually respect you by who you are sleeping with. As a man, every man knows this. Who you're sleeping with makes you money all the time. So that's why you have to get the most amazing slave queen out here. Yes, mama, it's feminine energy. It works like nobody's business.
Girl, yes. I don't think I've been using my feminine energy.
You are sleeping on the man. So that is why I always tell women, you do not, never ever love a man. You cannot say, oh, I love him. Oh, this. No, that's wrong. You are messing up the equation. A man needs to love you, because when a man loves you, he will do anything. Men are filling up jails today. Ask them what they were doing. They were making money for a woman. Everything in this planet is honoring the feminine, because the planet is feminine. The planet was created by feminine energy. The most highest energy that can control anything in the world is feminine. Now, politicians, what do politicians do to get us to vote for them? They speak. That's feminine. If you're a politician, you don't know how to speak, we're never going to vote for you. You can be lying to us. We know you are lying to us. You are promising us things that does not even exist. We only need your feminine. When a man, politicians normally are men, stands on the podium, he can make war, he can make peace, because of the feminine energy. Spoken word is feminine. Feminine, we don't have energy to carry bags of cement. We only have a word, and our word creates everything. We can say to you, go and prosper, you prosper. We can say to you, go and be distraction, you will self-destruct in 15 minutes out here, depending on how much I've practiced my spiritual power. But I can tell somebody to go distract. That is why I teach women, you can never say anything wrong to a man. If that man does not love you, you leave him, you pack your bags and you go. If women can just know how to deal with the masculine energy, we wouldn't see gender-based violence. Because as a woman, if you start to tell him he's stupid, now you are what? You are creating destruction in the planet. And because the masculine energy has a showing up power, they will show up and show the destruction physically. But we can kill 100 men sitting like this, and we will never go to jail. How many men are dead today and nobody knows what happened to them? I'm driving a Porsche, he's dead, duh. Police can't even figure it out. That's how powerful women are. But we, of course, there's a whole lot of systems that have taken that knowledge away from us, taken that power away from us, and taught us we are just good for the kitchen. And that is not even close to what we can do. So when you are in your feminine energy, you're knowing that when I enter the boardroom, feminine energy is the most quiet energy. Not quiet only because I haven't spoken, you're going to beg me to speak. By the time you beg me to speak, whatever I say will happen. It will happen. Now, if I'm talking too much and all over the place, I'm not in my sacred environment, they're like, oh, you're so emotional. Oh, what is wrong with you? Oh, the crazy one, don't tell her about the meeting. You are in your masculine energy. The masculine are the ones who are supposed to be making noise. And for them, actually, when they're making noise, it helps because they are actually balancing their masculine and their feminine. So politicians talk too much, but they're talking like nothing much. But they get it, the work done. They are in their feminine when they are doing the talking. They are creating. Hitler, all these things, it was talk, only talk. So once you understand, talking to men, you understand how important it is to go for a woman that knows her spiritual power. And you commit to her and you choose the one that you see that I will be able to say yes, ma'am, to her. Because when she is really in her power, you will do anything and everything that she wants, that woman. So you must be able to know that I can give myself to this one and she will lead me to God, literally. Or hell, because she can also lead you there. So, but you need to have a stable life. Men need to understand this thing of that. Now men are saying I'm the price. You can never be a price as a man. You are not the price.
Please tell them.
You cannot. It doesn't work like that. So, feminine energy is the energy before the masculine energy. If there's a play, these actors will go and practice for weeks, for months. Practice their lines. That's feminine energy, behind the scene, behind the scene, behind the scene. The day when the curtain drops and they are performing, that's masculine. Now, depending on how much they invested in their feminine energy in practicing, it's how good this show is going to look. If they didn't do enough, we will see all the mistakes. But if they've done enough in the behind the scenes, they could be making mistakes we'll never see. We will just be so clued and we'll buy the tickets and we'll do this. Because behind the scenes is where everything is written. So a lot of people will see people buy out twasa during winter. Winter is a feminine time. Winter is the time to work on yourself. So you have to do even if you're doing your manifestation work, all the internal things have to be done in winter, have to be done behind the veil. Feminine energy is so powerful, but it needs to work in darkness. It needs to work in a sacred place. It needs to work without people knowing what is happening. Until then we let the curtain drop. When the curtain drop, we get a man to go and speak. But we have told him what to say. You can go to every president and look at how they train them to become presidents. Those people are trained to go out there and be the light. But what happened behind the scenes, you'll be shocked what their training looks like.
How is our childhood trauma connected to our ability to make money?
Okay, so now all of us, we have got 32 chromosomes in our body. These are the 32 lifetimes of people that have given their energy for me now to be here and talk, you here talking. These 32 points in our system connect us to 32 lifetimes. So that's a lot of time. That's about 2 million people. So every one of those people, every blessing is in me now. Every pain is in me now. Now, I come through as a soul. We are all one energy. We're all one. That's why we can be able to connect easily. But every soul comes with a job or a lesson or whatever that the soul is here to experience. So the soul is here to experience being black and this and this and this. The soul is here to experience having money. The soul is here to experience having no money. I mean, it is what it is. But now, once you are in the body, once the soul touches the body at the first breath, in astrology, we really want to know. So if you're going to be giving birth now, you need to know what time your child was born. That time is very critical for us to know the script of what the child is here for. So when a king is born, they will hold that woman to not give birth. They will make sure the baby does not come out until the moon is sitting this way. Because the time of birth determines if he's going to be a good king or not. If he's going to be this and this and that. So you get the script on your first breath. The moment the soul takes the first breath in the body, you get your will, what we call a will. Now with that will is how you will create your own destiny. The soul cannot create by itself, the body cannot do it by itself. Hence, when you die, the soul comes out of the body. Once the body and the soul is in one, now you have spiritual authority to create your own destiny, which means now you get a will. All the other beings in the planet don't have a will. They listen to what the universe wants from them. Dogs, trees. If it's winter, there's nothing you can do about it. But me, I can go somewhere in winter and I can literally live in summer every day because I have a will. Now, once that will is in your body, now you are starting to be the director, the actor, the everything in your story. That soul determines what it's here to learn. Now you can decide how you want to learn it, the easy way or the hard way. Now, because the soul comes in with karma, so karma is why it came in. There is no soul that comes into the planet without a reason. The reason it could be even 2 days just to come in and say hello to humans and go. Even if it's 15 seconds, that soul has a, even if it doesn't even get to be out in the planet, it just lives in its mother's womb. That soul has that, and that's what it needed to experience. So it is, again, just like that. So now the soul comes in, gets 80 years, but you now have a will. This will determines how you're going to let this happen. So everybody has a karma. You can clear your karma in different ways. You can clear your karma by saying, I always say I take people to the river in the coldest of mornings ever, and I'm thinking, God, what did I do? What is my karma? But every time I help somebody, I'm clearing my karma. So, but I could go through this and have somebody clap me, somebody step me, and I'm still getting rid of my karma. I'm learning the lessons I said I will come and learn them here. But all the time, your story is going to, once you are here in the body, your story is going to be triggered through the people you come into. So if you need to learn how to be successful, you're probably going to find a family that is the most poor. That is going to create so many wounds in you that your soul will have no choice but remember how to make money. So the wounds you come in here, it's not like God doesn't like you by giving you the most craziest mother who drinks every day or whatever. So you will come and find this mother, and every day when you wake up and realize, oh, we don't have money again, she's drunk. Oh, we don't have money again. Your soul is remembering the whole story, why it is here. So I'm here this time to stop the poor energy in this family. You have to be reminded every day. And in this thing of triggering your poor. So you're going to find people who have a big money trauma. You're going to live with them until you fight hard enough to learn how to be successful. You can decide to do it in one lifetime, or you can do it in 50. You just keep coming and you broke and you go. You keep coming, you broke and you go. Until you notice, oh, I came into people that are broke. Why did I really? So that's why we drink ayahuasca and drink San Pedro. We're triggering the time so that it moves fast and you remember quickly. Oh no, actually I came to stop it now, because all the 32 chromosomes are saying one thing. Are you the one who's going to stop this? Are you the one who's going to stop the abuse? Are you the one who's going to stop this? And you say no, they'll say, okay, fine, come back home. Or you say, no, actually I am the one. I am the one who's going to stop this from happening. The failed marriages, this and this and this. So the moment you say, yes, I'm going to be the one, then you start the journey of healing these wounds for all the 32 lifetimes. It is not easy, of course, but that is why God also gave us all sorts of tools to be able to go through this thing the quickest way. So it can take long, but it can also it can be shortened. Now, every day you are reminded of the poor. There's all this poor thing, poor energy, money, lack. You are just being reminded you are here to be rich. That's why you are poor. You are here to be rich. That's why you are poor. Rich people normally come here. I have a lot of, normally most white people come here and they are fighting mostly loneliness and depression and this and this and this and this. They have money, but they are fighting very, 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 very big fights. I have wrote about it in this book. We normally think money is a problem. Oh, there's bigger problems than money. But it's just that we have come to experience this right now and stop it from continuing. And if that is what you came in to learn, how to be successful, the only way to learn it is for you to see the other side so that you can appreciate the other side. So you have to start just saying, I am healing trauma of money from the past generation. But also you can, and you have the right to download all the tools that they've been using, all the tools that they've already put in place. So I run a security business. And again, I didn't know anything about the security. I had never seen a gun until the day I was there, and it was my first training on how to hold a gun. I took the gun, and how I even got there is a weird story. But then by the moment I took the gun and I was shooting, all of a sudden something clicked in me. I felt the smell of the the bullets when it comes out of the gunpowder. Smelled so good, and I was like, this smells right. But I was literally shooting the target at here, and there was no woman in that room. There was only men, and highly trained men, because I had lost the class of the beginners. I was in the advanced class for some weird reason. Everyone was like, you said you have never held a gun before. Yes, I've never. This is my first time ever. I've never seen a gun. But why would you shoot so good? But while I'm shooting, this smell feels so good. I want to smell it more. I'm telling the guy, put more bullets. Put more bullets. And literally while that was happening, it was like, I've known this all my life. Well, we finished. This guy was also a very spiritual guy, and he said when you were shooting, there was a man like this. He explains the man standing behind. I'm like, no, that is my uncle. He used to be the head of the army in Swaziland. He's like, yeah, no, he looked like this. I'm like, oh wow, that's nice. Later on, I found out that in my past lifetime, I was actually a head of an army that saved a whole entire nation. Literally, one day of me training how to use a gun, everything was downloaded. But we use things like fire cleansing to bring back the blessings of the past 32 lifetimes. You can download all of this. Now I run a security company overnight because I've already run it so many other times. And that makes me money that I don't even have to worry about. So when you do all the processes of healing, then you stop the trauma and you start to experience the blessings. That is why healing is so important.
You are so inspiring. I could sit here with you
for talking. Yeah.
Oh, is there something you want to say?
No.
There is one last question. We're speaking about money, and money is associated with materialism and this earth. However, I keep hearing you talking about ayahuasca and all these spiritual practices, which are the opposite of the material world.
Yeah.
So now, how are you marrying these two concepts?
So money is the one most spiritual thing, because money calculates value. If you have money in this planet, people think you are valuable. They will give you the podium. They will say, but if you are broke, nobody wants to hear nothing. It doesn't matter how much wisdom you might have or this and that. So is money important? Maybe not. But this world has used money as a measure of value. That is why every time when I sit with somebody who says, I don't have money, I only ask them one question: what are you valuable at? Okay, then they will say, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. But do you know how valuable that is? And once you connect yourself to that value, nobody else is going to take you serious. You could be doing the most minimal thing. If your value was to come and clean, you will be the biggest cleaning company, or you will be a maid at somebody's house. You are still doing cleaning, right? But in the other lifetime, because we all have lifetimes, we can change the lifetime. That's why ayahuasca, I'll explain to you how ayahuasca helps us change the lifetime. So you came here to clean, but in one lifetime, you are so broke, you just clean and people give you 10 rand. But you are here for cleaning. In another lifetime, same time you are living in a cleaning environment where you pay 10 rand, you have the power to have a 10 million rand cleaning company. Depending on where you are today, you could be supposed to be having, well, if you are in your maid season, because you haven't changed the timelines, you get the soulmate that you guys can chill under the bridge and live there. You get children who are in drugs and what. It's a lifetime that it's a lifetime that you are subscribing to right now. Now, just like when you're thinking N1 going to Joburg from Pretoria, there's 4 lanes. The ones on the slow lane are experiencing different things than the ones on the fast lane. You change from one lane to the next, you need to look at your blind spot and then change to the next lane. In the next lane, things are different. Normally, cars it's big trucks are going with gear 1. On the first lane, it's German Mercedes, what. They are on their highest vibration. All things, echo and gunjanjan. So you are here, you are a cleaner, you're getting 50 rand. Or you are in the first lane, you are now running a huge company, you have a soulmate, that you are a power couple, this and that. So it can take you so many lifetimes to change from one lane to the next, to be on the one that you're supposed to be at. Or you can have an ayahuasca ceremony for 6 hours and it can move you 2 lanes in one night. Because when you understand that I am a cleaner but not in the scale, you only change value. There's nothing else that changes. In an ayahuasca ceremony, you only change your value, how much you value yourself. Now, in my lifetime right now, there's a timeline where I am literally sleeping under a bridge and I'm a drug addict. And my soulmate is probably, he's waiting there. He's like, oh, this person is not coming. I'm not coming, of course. So now I had to change lifetimes because, I mean, losing 40 million, I was supposed to be sleeping under a bridge.
Yeah.
Literally, that is how I was going to go there. I was in that lane. Now, God grace, I get all this ayahuasca and this, I shift. Now I'm in a place where I don't owe anybody anything. I make money without even waking up and trying. I am doing what I am created to do. And my kids are perfect. This and this. I have a soulmate, and all of that. But there's another step that I still need to fight for. Where I'm a billionaire, I can give money to anybody who needs it in Africa. Well, I go to the bank and I get everybody money, but it's not in that level. So there's still a few more shifts that I need to do. We call it quantum shifting. So when you take this spiritual medicine, God created them knowing. That's why nobody wants you to touch them. Because you can change your timelines. Ayahuasca is 6 hours. In that 6 hours, so much changes. I also give a San Pedro. San Pedro helps you to connect with your masculine energy, the healthy masculine energy. That's about showing up in the correct way, not in the, I'm working so hard. Even today, I have to wake up again and go to a job I hate and the boss I hate. Just for them to give me money so that I can pay for the car and the house until I die. That is not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live and wake up and do whatever we like. But people see value in us and they give and they say, oh my goodness, I want to come into this, come through, do this with us. Here's a contract from Norway. Now, because in that timeline you have value, you understand your value, changes everything. You don't have to do anything, it's just value. If you go to an organization and you say, I have a degree and you have value to a certain point, then you deserve that salary. But you'll find a lot of people say, I didn't study anything, that's why I don't have a job. No, you don't need to study, you just need to value. So the going to school gives you the value. Like now you, oh, I deserve it because I went and studied for 3 years. How many people have studied for how long and they are not working? Because it didn't click actually for them. Because you can study and still it doesn't click. Or you don't study at all and you still get it. So money is energy and it only goes with value. So the highest value you put on yourself at any moment gives you the right information. But of course, all the other effects of what did your soul come to do? What are you supposed to be fighting for? Is it relationship? Is it health? Is it money? All of these things go with value. You will be in crappy relationships if you don't value yourself. Because now, how would the next person value you? Other than the fact that even if we discuss what relationships are about, who's supposed to love who, who's supposed to give to who, what, all of that is in context of value. You will experience it in the level of value you are in. That's why there's social classes and all these things. You are the only person who can take you from one lane to the next according to value. So when I found out about psychedelics, I was like, okay, thank goodness. I can meditate myself into this, but also there's an easier way. God knew that we're going to have pain. He provided all the plants that can take, now they're in Panado there, that can take pain away. He knew how he created us. Also, he knew that when we come here, we're going to forget what we are here for. So when you take the psychedelics, you are able to get into the subconscious mind, work through it quicker. I've seen people go into an ayahuasca ceremony, come back, they are no longer drinking, they are no longer smoking, literally that day. They stopped sex, what, addictions, literally that day. And that is why I do it all the time. And people go and start schools and start big things. They are no longer scared. Just after 6 hours of changing their timelines.
Sure.
So we have help. It's available, but normally nobody wants to talk about the real help. People say, oh, do a budget. You are not budgeting good enough. You can't be budgeting with R1. Like, what are you budgeting?
Exactly.
You can't tell me to just be managing. There's nothing I have. How am I creating more? Let me remove the blockages. Then I will create more. And when you have removed it, you will feel like, my goodness, no man, it's a miracle. How did it happen? You will ask yourself, how did it happen? But you have removed the blockage. You have removed the blockage. And if the blockage is there, you can go and dig a mine and you're going to be still paid R1. It doesn't matter how hard you work. You are still going to have to do everything for everybody and they still don't want to pay you. And they will just appreciate that you're doing it, but they wouldn't want to pay you. Value. There is a blockage around your value. You change that blockage. Now people honor you. They will give you money. You will write an invoice. It doesn't matter how cheap it is, they will still not want to take yours. They will still take the higher invoice. Why? That person gives value. Good vibes. That's it.
We are definitely going to need a part 2 with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's
Please.
so much that
There is. No.
Yes. And I think that's the other thing. We need to then look into the spiritual processes because there are many spiritual processes to remove these blockages.
Yes.
Specifically in the mindset. Specifically, there's nothing else that is going to stop you if your mindset is in the correct place about anything. There is nothing else. The mind makes everybody the same. Doesn't matter which part of the world you are in. Doesn't matter what gender you are. Mind, God gave us the same thing. It levels the planes. As long as you understand what's going on.
Goddess. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope someone got something out of that.
Oh, you are so inspiring. I love you so much. You're my woman crush Wednesday, like every day. You're so wonderful. Thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Like I say, we will definitely be calling you again to unpack some more because we deserve you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
Sure, Moya political series. Shastas, money is political. So, hey, that was a chunk load, guys. Yeah, I'm also just like, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much to the members who are putting in the money energy so that we can keep the lights on. We'll see you again next time.
Who are you when all you were has been diluted by lies and white lines cancelling out all that which has been written of your history? Why do you look at yourself as a mystery? Doesn't the sun shine because you open your eyes? Doesn't the moon stay situated within the same stars your DNA sparkles off? Your spirit knows that surely corner into it off. Buza umoya so you may return to being well off. Because spiritually you are rich, yet your ancestors cry because you are out of reach. But yours is to command all elements while God takes inspiration from the very mirror she looked at to become. Remember who you are and never finish just when they think that with you they are done.